Now we're going to review this beer. But before we review the beer and do a taste test, let me tell you a little bit more about the Czechvar Brewery and the Czech Republic. Now, first of all, the Czech Republic, also known in short by Czechia, is in Central Europe, and it is a country that is landlocked by 4 countries on all 4 sides. They are Austria, Germany, Poland and Slovakia. Czechia has a population of about 10.7 million people, and it is home to one of Europe's finest breweries. Now, if you want to know a little more about the Czechvar Brewery, you can go to czechvar.com. The website is right here, and I'll also put a link to that website in the description below this video. Now, the Czechvar Brewery and Czechvar beer is brewed in the South Bohemian region of the Czech Republic. Now, to know more about how the Czechvar Brewery got started, we actually have to go back 700 years. Actually, over 750 to be exact. That is when King Ottokar II bestowed an incredible privilege on the Czech region, and that was the right to brew beer. Yes. Now, fast forward from King Ottokar's time to right now, 2020, when the Czechvar Brewery, believe it or not, is brewing well in excess of 1 million hectoliters of their beer a year and exporting, to get this, over 75 countries worldwide. Now, if you should ever find yourself in the South Bohemian region of the Czech Republic, you can actually do a tour of the Czechvar Brewery. And believe it or not, part of that tour shows you where they still use the original pure artisan water, which is sourced from an ice age well that is located 300 meters below the brewery. How cool is that? This bottle actually contains ice age water. Yum. And it's because of this unique ice age well that the brewery is actually protected as a protected geographical location by the European Commission to this day, which means they're going to be brewing this great beer for a very, very, very long time. Now, this particular beer that we're taste testing today, the original, is the gold standard for Czech beer around the world. Now, get this, it is actually cold stored in the Czechvar cellars for 7 times longer than regular beers around the world, and that gives it its pale sweetness and its golden body. This particular beer comes in this 500 milliliter green bottle. It's a 5% alcohol volume content. It's 22 on the IBU scale. Now, if you're wondering what IBU means, it means International Bitterness Units, which is actually a grade on how they grade how bitter a beer is. It usually runs from 5 to 120, 5 being the least bitter and 120 being the most bitter. So if this beer has 22 IBUs, means it's not very bitter. It actually stands for the amount of hops which is put into the beer, which gives it its bitterness level. It is also 10 EBC, which stands for European Brewery Convention. And the EBC is the colorness scale of the beer. Obviously, the higher the EBC, the darker the beer is. This is a 10 EBC, a pretty light golden beer. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why beer bottles are green or brown, let me explain. You see, many years ago, beer bottles used to be clear. However, the clear glass allowed harmful UV rays to get in and penetrate the beer, therefore altering the taste of the beer. So the solution was to make the bottles out of green or brown glass to prevent the UV rays from getting into the beer. Now, all that being said, as we do every Friday, we are going to crack it and stack it, which essentially means we are going to open it and pour it. So I'm going to crack it and stack it, pouring 2/3 and then turning the glass for the last third and pouring more vigorously to get a good head on the beer. Let's back this camera up and take a taste test. Here's the Czechvar beer, 5%. It's got a good golden body to it there, good carbonation. I'd say medium carbonation running from the bottom to the top. It had a good head on the beer, but that's dissipated quite quickly. We're going to give it a try. I always find the European beers have kind of a mature aftertaste to them, certainly pleasant. That is actually a lighter beer than I expected. And they do a couple of beers. This is the B Original. Okay, guys? If you want to check them out, you can go to Czechvar.com, which is right there, or in the description below. And again, these guys deliver to about 76 countries worldwide. So I'm pretty sure wherever you are in the world, you're going to be able to pick up this beer. I know the Tysky beer that I reviewed last Friday on my channel, a lot of you messaged and said that you managed to get it at Aldi, which is like a chain of supermarket stores, I think, in England. So if you have managed to pick that up, maybe they also have Czechvar beer. You never know. The Tysky that I reviewed last week kind of had more of that European mature taste on the back of the palate. This one doesn't have that. Very easy to drink, very light. It's kind of got a shandy taste to it, which if you're from England like me, basically you take beer, you pour in lemonade, and that gives you shandy. That's kind of what this tastes like, even though it's just a beer and it is 5%, so it's certainly got some kick to it. I quite like that, actually. That's so kind of easy drinking and so drinkable that is going to go down super fast. And it comes in these 500 milliliter bottles, which means you're probably going to get pretty drunk without knowing it, if you know what I mean. So there you have it, guys. That is this week's episode of Beer and Watchers. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. By the way, I forgot to mention that this past few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, I was with my wife and our friends Brandy and Glenn. It was Glenn's 50th birthday, so we went up to a place called Squamish and Whistler here in BC, and we hiked and we kayaked and we tried all kinds of breweries. We tried breweries in Squamish and also breweries on the way back in North Vancouver. Can't remember the name of all the breweries. There was A-Frame Brewery, there was Backcountry Brewery, and a few others. I will look those up, guys, and I'll put those in the descriptions below as well so that you can see where we hung out. We had great beer. They were all great. I'll also put some pictures up right after this of the breweries we went to, the beers we tried. You can see those as soon as I finish here. And if you're ever in BC, Canada, you guys can check out those breweries too. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. My name's Matt Johnson. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a great weekend, guys. Don't forget to crack it and stack it. Stay healthy, safe and well out there, and we'll see you after the weekend. Bye for now.